Hello guys, Onslaught is here. Now that we had a couple of days to test things out, I think I have the best Warlock build for Onslaught on Legend difficulty. You want to do all 50 rounds? You are going to love this. But first, there are some misconceptions that I would like to talk about. This build is all about the Well of Radiance, but it's not a support only build. Quite the opposite. It's an ad clearing machine like no other, especially on Onslaught. I've been using this build for ages on GMs and it shines, but in Onslaught, it was made for this. It makes Onslaught mode easy. Your job is not to put the well when needed and that's it. No, your job is to put the well. Your team will be safer inside and do more damage, but you will proc an ignition every single time you kill an enemy. By doing this, you are going to clear like that area really fast. You're gonna do a ton of damage and a ton of ad clear. It's so easy with this build. All you need is a super, a Well of Radiance, and a solar weapon. That's all the requirements. No crazy ideas, no crazy rotations, no crazy checklist. That's it. Solar weapon and Well of Radiance. In that Well of Radiance, most of the times you will get it back to back. Like your super, your Well of Radiance is still on the ground and sometimes you already have it. You don't need two players doing this. You can, it's going to destroy everything, but only one player needs this build. That's how good it is. And the best part is, even though we have a great artifact this season for solar builds, it doesn't need it. It's artifact proof. You ignite enemies in every kill. It's crazy how strong it is. I know some people feel that they're always stuck to Well of Radiance, especially in raids before a boss fight. Guys, with this build you can go into a GM, a raid, a dungeon, whatever, and you're going to be a ad clearing machine. It's so strong and it's so offensive. Most people I see running Well of Radiance builds with Phoenix Protocol, it's so defensive. You can do so much more than just you're the guy that uses the well and that's it. You don't need to do anything else. No, you can destroy the game. And talking about Phoenix Protocol, that's the exotic we're gonna use. It's very simple, very strong. So when you're inside the well, your kills and assists will give you your super pack until you have 50%. It stops at 50%. But because you're going to do so much ignition, so much burn damage, and because on Onslaught, on Legend mode, there are higher tiers of enemies, so that gives your super even faster, most of the times you'll get it back to back. It's just so satisfying to see all those yellow numbers, all those ignitions. And when you pair this with a Hunter tether, and by the way, that will be my next video, but because it's still a small channel, I can't just make a video every day, otherwise YouTube just doesn't show it to people. So I need to pace it a little bit, which sucks for me, because I would love to show you the builds I'm using like on day one or stuff like that, but unfortunately it's such a small channel. But we can change that, and we can change that by subscribing, liking, and comment, guys. So please just help me out. No, for real, if you like the video, subscribe. I would love to reach at least 1,000 subs. But back to the video. So I'm going to show you my Hunter build. It's not a Gear Falcon build. Guys, don't use Gear Falcon on Legend. Well, you can use whatever you like, but you're so much better. Your team is so much better using Orpheus Rig on Legend. But back to the Warlock. As you can see, ignitions all the time. You kill an enemy, it's an ignition. Very strong. But you need to build it the way I'm going to show it, guys. I know a lot of you just leave the video at this point. You hate to see the menus and stuff like that, but it's very, very important. So it's just a couple of minutes and you're gonna love it while you're playing for hours and hours and hours. Now, of course, we're gonna choose Well of Radiance. I use Healing Rift, Strafe Glide, Incinerator Snap for easier ignitions, but if you want a long range melee, you can use Celestial Fire. I use Healing Grenade for survivability, especially for dark times, and aspect wise, Touch of Flame, so when you use your Healing Grenade, you get Restoration ×2. And Icarus Dash, it's so good, the movement with Icarus Dash is so good, and I hate Heat Rises, I hate how you feel when you're jumping, so yeah, Icarus Dash for me. Fragments wise, Ember of Shar, your ignitions will spread Scourge to targets. Ember of Eruption, your ignitions have increased area of effect. Ember of Ashes, you apply more Scourge. In this one, guys, it's the most important, Ember of Combustion. This one ties everything together. Final Blows with the Solar Super causes target to ignite. It also creates a fire sprite. Now you are thinking, I will never kill anyone with the Well of Radiance. And that's why you don't see people running this fragment. But that's where most people are wrong. Because when you kill an enemy with a solar weapon inside your own well, it will count as your solar super. So you can use a solar primary, I was using Sunshot, and you trigger an ignition in every kill. It doesn't need to be a precision kill like Rays of Precision, for example, one of our artifact perks. You can shoot them in the knee and it will work. And this is why this is artifact proof. I will show you my artifact, of course. You can copy, but it doesn't need the artifact, even though the artifact makes it a little bit stronger. This is how you kill everything. Everything will be an ignition. And because, again, it's a horde mode, enemies are so close to each other, you will have your tether from your fellow hunter. It's so destructive. With this build that most people think, oh, it's just a Well of Radiance, it's just a support build to keep us alive, you will double the kills on your team. Like, you will be the guy with most kills in your team. That's how good this build is, how good at crowd control, at killing everything. It's a killing machine, honestly. You just need to use something that normally is used defensively, offensively. So strong. But it doesn't stop here, guys. So like I said, solar weapons, you can use Sunshot, Polaris Lens, even Vex. It's up to you, but it needs to be a solar weapon. I was using a solar machine gun, heavy machine gun. It helps a lot as well. And then I would change my loadout when it's boss time, because you have a banner before the boss, so you can change the loadout for example, Polaris Lance or a grenade launcher or rocket launcher. By the way, check my last video about the Edge Transit grenade launcher. I think people are sleeping on Deconstruct. You should check that out. Mods wise, on our helmet, I use 2 harmonic siphons and 1 font of wisdom. Instead of the font of wisdom, if you want, you can use a heavy ammo finder and then a heavy ammo scout. I don't have much luck with those, so I just go with the font of wisdom. On our gloves, impact induction, causing damage with a power melee, reduces grenade cooldown, and focus strike, grants class ability when you cause damage with a power melee. And because it's a build that uses your solar weapons, I went with harmonic loader. On your chest, I always use the same, 1 for each, one resist for arc, 1 for void, and 1 for solar. And On our boots, I use one innervation and one recuperation. So when you get an orb of power, you get health and grenade energy back. And I use one solar weapon surge, so it enhances in 10% our solar weapon damage. You can use two if you like. I only use one. On our class item, I use one bomber, one time dilation, and one proximity ward. And that's the build. This build is amazing. I can't stress this enough, guys. You need to try it. Please try it and let me know in the comments what you think. Well, that was the video, guys. If you're still here, if you're still watching, say something nice in the comments. Let me know what you think. And if you're not subscribed yet, please help me out reaching 1,000 subs. I would love to reach 1,000 subs. So yeah, I'll see ya, and maybe on the weekend I'll show my hunter build. It's very, very good. And Onslaught, these two builds, that's all you need. This build, this solar build, and that hunter void that I'm gonna show probably on the weekend. Bye guys, see ya.